Hi everybody, I'm Christy Gordson and welcome to Washington Grown. Mashed, baked, scalloped, fried, boiled. That's right, this episode is all about potatoes. We're traveling to downtown Seattle to check out the Palace Kitchen and learn some great potato recipes from renowned restaurateur Tom Douglas. We'll also visit a potato farm in Pasco, Washington to see how their spuds are getting to your table. We're on the streets at the Pike Place Market to discover the many ways that people are enjoying the classic potato. We're headed to Tim's Cascade Chips to see how they're using millions of Washington potatoes to create their classic Cascade Crunch. Then we're in the kitchen with our home chef Kristen as she teaches us how to make a delicious potato vegetable soup that your family will love. All this and much more on Washington Grown.
That's okay. For whole wheat, this is pretty awesome.
They are so delicious.
I am thrilled because today we get to meet with celebrity chef Tom Douglas at one of his most famous Seattle restaurants, the Palace Kitchen.
The Palace is really just that sexy kind of bar-centric thing where you can have appetizers and cocktails or dinner, goat or lamb off the grill, big rotisserie chicken section, so lots of deliciousness. Everything's centered on our big apple wood-fired grill, more Washington wood, right?
Right.
We're actually firing the grill with our apple trees
the wood,
that are turning over,
Much of the restaurant's produce comes from Douglas's own farm located in Prosser, Washington.
The freshness really comes through in that kind of umami effect. Just that fifth sense that, wow, this tastes like it just came out of the water. This tastes like it just came out of the earth. And that kind of effect is where you really get it. I think there's an internal organic sensibility that you recognize as an eater. That's what our bodies are born with.
You have how many restaurants?
I have 13 restaurants, 15 businesses, and soon to have more.
Each one is a little bit different.
A little bit. And I like that. I don't like doing the same thing over and over again.
Right.
Like I'm never speaking to you again after this show.
Moving on. A little bit later in the show, Tom Douglas is going to show me how to make some Greek smashed
potatoes. And I can do a little Shakespeare if you want.
I would love it.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We're here just outside of Pasco, and I met with Randy Mullen, who was kind enough to show us around his potato farm. What are we standing on right now? What kind of potatoes are these?
This is a Narcota russet, and this variety will end up in grocery stores and restaurants.
How many acres of potatoes do you have?
Well, this field right here is approximately 100 acres. And total, we're raising about 1,000.
Wow.
We figure there's about 1 semi-load per acre. So this field here will have 100 semi-loads of potatoes. Will be harvested out of this field here.
You do the math, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of potatoes.
It's a lot of potatoes.
And I hear there's a lot of history at this farm.
There's a lot of history.
Is there?
There's a lot of history here. My dad came here in the 1940s. This is block 1, so it's the first block developed in the South Columbia Basin Irrigation District.
Really?
And you had to draw for farm units back then, and you had to be a veteran. And this is not the same farm that he drew back in the 40s, but we've been here ever since.
Now, I was amazed to find out that in just a few short days of no water, this green field of potato plants will dry up so they can easily harvest them. So it's probably a good thing that you don't have to go out here and do this by hand, right?
I think about that occasionally. Where back in the old days, where they had to come out and dig them by hand. Yeah. And I think there's places in Russia where they still do that.
That's a big potato right there. So what makes Washington such a great place to grow potatoes?
Washington has the highest yield of any place else in the world, and it has to do with our weather, it has to do with these volcanic soils. Those are the two main factors in raising quality potatoes.
You're president of the National Potato Council.
That's correct. Yeah.
That's great. So what do you do for them, and what does the council do?
The council is kind of the legislative arm of the national potato industry. And so our office is in Washington, D.C. So we've got people up on the Hill on a daily basis, and also we deal a lot with the Environmental Protection Agency. Through the Potato Commission, we donate a lot to the Second Harvest and some of the other organizations that are helping the people who don't have quite the resources.
Yeah. So how healthy is a potato?
It's full of potassium. You know, a potato and a banana, believe it or not, are very similar.
Really?
In makeup.
And what's the best part of being a farmer?
Oh, I like the freedom of being a farmer.
Yeah.
It's a great thing. Come out here and kind of be your own boss. And my family's very active in the farm, and it's just, to me, it's a wonderful way to make a living.
How important are potatoes to Washington, its people, and its economy?
Well, Washington State University had an impact study, and they came up with 23,000 jobs in the state by the potato industry, and $4.6 billion in revenue.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of people employed too.
It's very important to the Washington economy.
Absolutely.
I guess I've never really thought about how many people we're feeding with this farm here, but that'd be a lot.
Yeah. So potatoes or spuds?
Probably call them potatoes more than I call them spuds. But if I'm saying we're going to go dig, we're going to go dig spuds.
Dig some spuds. That's right. To learn more about what it's like to be a farmer in Washington, go to our website at wagrown.com. So let's find out how all of these potatoes are being used. Tomas is out on the street.
You know, Christy, everybody loves a good potato. We're here at the public market in Seattle, Washington, and we're gonna find out what are some of the favorite potatoes of the people around me. Okay, so I wanna know about potatoes. You guys like potatoes?
Yeah, I love potatoes.
Love potatoes. Tell me some of your favorite potato dishes.
Potato salad.
Potato salad.
Potatoes. Baked potatoes.
Baked potatoes.
Twice baked potatoes.
Twice baked potatoes.
I like tater tot casserole.
Nice. What about you?
I just like fries.
Potato salad.
Potato salad.
I like those little fingerling potatoes with garlic and onions and butter and baked and roasted.
Very nice.
Actually, I love my recipe of spinach mashed potatoes.
Oh yeah, that's
really
good.
Spinach mashed potatoes, and you got two recommendations right there.
Yeah, it is good.
Mashed potatoes.
Hash brown.
Do you like potatoes?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, excellent.
Fries are good.
Potato salad.
Salad.
Potatoes.
Hash browns.
Potato salad. Fries. Baked potatoes.
Any potatoes. All potatoes.
All right, so what I'd like to know is, tell me, do you guys like potatoes?
Yes.
Okay, so what I want to know are, what are some cool side dishes to make with potatoes? You can be original, you can be as crazy as you want.
Chorizo con papas.
That's what I'm talking about. I haven't heard that yet.
I love like little red potatoes with rosemary on it. Oh my god. Spice baked potatoes.
Tell me a couple of things that you put on potatoes that make a potato even better. Okay? Sorry.
Dill, like in potato salad.
And bacon.
Bacon. Oh, if you put bacon on anything, it'll be good.
Pork? Did you just say pork?
What are some things that you like to add to potatoes to make it even better?
Sour cream.
Sour cream. Cheese.
Parsley.
Parsley.
Butter.
Oh yeah.
There's no doubt about it, Seattle loves their potatoes. Check out recipes and more on our website, wagrown.com. Now let's learn about the nutritional value of potatoes. I'm with Craig Hunt, nutritionist, and we are talking about potatoes, and you love potatoes.
I do.
Because they're single serving, but they get a bad rap.
Well, I think what's happened is there's been a lot of focus on carbohydrates. There was a lot of emphasis on eating low-fat, high-carbohydrate, and things have changed quite a lot. We're realizing that we can eat more good fats. But what happened is carbohydrates were labeled kind of like the bad guy. You know, every good story you gotta have the bad guy, and so carbohydrates have been labeled that. And potatoes being part of that group. But really, it's not the case. Potatoes are so manageable as a carbohydrate source. You've got single serving sizes. You've got a whole food. A lot of people are interested in whole foods these days, and so what can be closer than a potato out of your backyard or out of the Northwest that's a whole food? So you've got the skin that has fiber, it's high in vitamin C, a tremendous source of potassium, which is really good for our blood pressure. It has a little bit of iron too, and there's a lot of iron deficiency anemia in the United States. So potatoes are, I see them as a powerhouse food, and I see them as a natural food for our blood pressure.
People should eat more potatoes.
I think they should. I like to dice them up, steam them, and then serve them with a little bit of sauteed meat and vegetable. So they make a really good carbohydrate source. And you know, I really have a childhood memory with potatoes where before my family would go skiing, my mom would make what was called skier's breakfast. And it was always potatoes with some eggs, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of vegetable. And we would eat this and it would stay with us very well, you know, good complex carbohydrates.
Good stuff.
Potatoes are good stuff.
Coming up, we're back at the Palace Kitchen where Chef Tom Douglas is going to teach us how to cook one of his favorite potato dishes. You're not going to want to miss this. We're back at the Palace Kitchen where celebrity chef Tom Douglas is creating food fit for a king.
The Palace Kitchen is a grand space, as you can see, and it was really intended to be the basement of a palace after the big feast.
I love it here. The coconut cream pie is ridiculously good.
It's electric. It's so lively and fun, and everyone who comes here I think is really welcome.
We are here with iconic Seattle restaurateur Tom Douglas, and we are talking all about potatoes. And you're going to show us how to do a couple of potato dishes. Why are potatoes so popular?
I just think they're fun. They're easy to grow. It's such a present to lift up that whole plant and just see them all dangling underneath in the roots. Yeah.
So what are we going to be doing today?
We're going to just do a Greek-style roasted potato.
Okay.
So I'm just going to take some of these potatoes that we have here. These are red spuds.
This came from your garden.
Absolutely. It's that time of year, you know, Prosser Farms.
Nice.
So we're going to just toss them around, heavy salt and pepper,
okay.
And then boom, they're going to go into the oven until they're cooked.
After removing from the oven, we start smashing.
So I just take a coffee cup,
easy,
go on top, but I try to keep them kind of in their shape a little bit.
Okay.
It's not horribly important that they don't break up.
You don't want them to completely break up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Give it a try here. So
I'm going to put some olive oil on the stove, because when I get done with this smashing, now I'm going to take them and fry them in Greek olive oil.
Greek olive oil.
And that's the double fried, double baked Greek potatoes.
Goodness.
That's the goodness.
That's
so
the goodness. How's that?
You keep smashing away, and I'm just going to put some olive oil in the pan over here.
Putting you to work.
Don't be shy. Smash that sucker.
I'm smashing it.
All right, that's better. Because you want some little crispy end bits. When we get done, we're going to put some garlic in there and get that garlic nice and toasty brown. Okay. And then we're going to finish with Greek oregano. And the key on Greek oregano is it's not Mexican oregano, it's not Italian oregano, it's not the oregano out of your garden.
It's Greek.
It's Greek oregano. So let's go to the stove and cook these potatoes.
Okay. You're
so I have my
frying them.
I'm kind of almost deep frying them. Yeah.
It's a lot of oil.
And so of course this is an area you want to stand back from. Okay. It is at the end of the day a little bit of a decadence.
Yes.
But you know, olive oil is good for you. Yeah. So it's
why not?
Yeah, why not? So you can see part of the potato is breaking up as we mess around with it. But those parts that break up become your crispy nuggets.
Yeah.
Sometimes we call those chef treats because they don't often make it to the dinner table.
Really?
Yeah, you know how that goes.
But they taste so good.
They taste so good, yeah. What do you notice here so far?
What do I notice? I don't know. What am I noticing?
The garlic is not in the pan yet, is it?
It is not.
If we had the garlic in the pan already, it'd be burnt.
Yeah.
It'd be done. So the garlic is a last minute thing.
That smells so good.
I know, fresh garlic, doesn't it? It's just magic. It's kind of like a browning onion or a piece of bacon.
Or onion and butter.
There's just nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
So you can start to see, if you look in there, you start to see it, little chunks getting a little golden. That's exactly what we want. We don't want raw garlic, so it has to get cooked.
Right. Yeah.
So when I'm going like this, I'll just take the pan down, and we're going to go away from the fat like this, the slotted spatula.
Yeah. Now on to the finishing touches.
So we've got our tasty bits. I'm going to take salt. This is a dish not to be shy. Okay. So the other thing that might be good in there, if you like it, is like dried chili flakes.
Oh.
I'm going to
that would
take
add
ground
a nice
pepper.
kick, huh?
And then this is our key. This is the Greek oregano.
Okay.
Let the warmth of the potatoes bring out the essence of the oregano, but don't cook the oregano. And you want to use plenty.
After plating the potatoes, we cut off a few pea shoots, add in a little olive oil, then a squeeze of lemon. So that'll just add a nice freshness to
Exactly. Now you just brighten up the whole dish. And so you have this kind of fun, delicious finish there.
Looks
little,
so good. A little white wine.
You can be my guest. There we go. I'll take the bottle.
That looks beautiful.
When you taste the potato, you're going to taste.
I'm eating with my fingers. With
That's
Tom
good.
Douglas.
That's good. That's why we got them. But you'll taste the creaminess of the potato, right? That's what happens with the baking and then frying. So this gives you a little different angle on potatoes.
And you get different textures, which is exciting.
Yep.
Excitement for your
And
mouth.
somewhat delicious.
And somewhat delicious.
Wish you could be here. It's Tom Douglas in Seattle with Christy. Thank you.
For this recipe and to see Tom and I cook some potato latkes, log on to wagrown.com.
Cheers.
Cheers.
A little Washington wine, Washington potatoes.
Doesn't get better than that. Up next, we're off to Tim's Cascade Chips to see how they're cooking up one of America's most popular snacks. Then we're in the kitchen with our home chef, Kristen, to learn how to make a hearty potato vegetable soup. So these are some good-looking potatoes we have here.
That's right.
Now, we've seen the versatility of preparing potatoes in the kitchen, but we all know one of America's favorite potato sides can actually be found in a bag. Of course, we're talking about the oh-so-delicious potato chip. So I'm here with Jeff Likelighter from Tim's Cascade Snacks, and we are here in the factory where all of the chips are boxed up, ready to head out.
It takes about an hour from potato to finished product and in the warehouse. We use about 43 million pounds of potatoes, and the majority of those do come out of Washington. We can literally take it out of the field, and within a couple hours, we're making chips. Can't be any simpler than that.
Once they go from the peeling station, they'll be transferred right into the cook room where we slice them, fry them, and then let them cool down, and then before they go into spicing.
All right, we need to see how you make them tasty.
All right.
For 27 years, Tim's Cascade Snacks has been making high-quality potato chips in over a dozen flavors.
The #1 seller is really our Tim's Cascade Jalapeno potato chip, but our Maui onion and the Hawaiian kettle line is right real close to it.
So people like it spicy.
They like it spicy.
What's your favorite?
My favorite is actually the jalapeno too.
Is it really? Is it hard for you not to just really want to grab one?
Yeah, every day.
First invented in New York in 1853, the potato chip is 100% American. And here in the Pacific Northwest, we enjoy a chip that is truly our own with the extra crunch to prove it.
You know, obviously, our tagline has always been get the Cascade Crunch. And with that, we do a lot of things here at Tim's that literally nobody else in the world does, from a potato chip manufacturer and seasoning.
Can you tell us your secrets?
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit of it.
Nothing like a little sneak peek just for Washington grown. This is where it starts to smell good.
Right. This is where it all begins. This is a slicing machine here. It'll use centrifugal force to force potatoes to the outside, slice the potatoes to our exact thickness. This conveyor will literally throw about 400 pounds of slices into the frying machine, and then it'll start the batch.
How many potatoes make up a bag of your chips?
It's usually 4 to 1, so it takes 4 pounds of potatoes to make 1 pound of potato chips.
Wow.
So, when we first started 27 years ago, we did all of this by hand.
Wow.
So,
what is this here?
This is an optical sorting machine, and what it does is it uses optical cameras and lasers to detect any foreign materials, plastic, glass, wood, for food safety. But the biggest effect it does is it pulls out dark and defected potato chips. At this point, using the camera and a puff of air, that will pick out and select that one potato chip that doesn't meet our standards.
That one little potato chip.
One chip.
So this is before they get seasoned?
Yes.
Okay.
What's unique about it is we put the seasoning on right as the chips are falling about 10 feet into the bag.
Oh, and they don't get crunched or broken when they...
Our chips are pretty tough.
Yeah.
They're pretty thick and crunchy, so they don't really break easy.
So do people ask you, how do you get your potato chips so crunchy?
Yes, they do. All the time.
While I may not get to learn the source of the crunch, Jeff did share some other secrets that make Tim's Cascade Snacks a truly great Pacific Northwest company. You do use a lot of local ingredients. You get potatoes, like you said, from the Northwest. A lot comes from Washington.
Right.
Tell me about that.
You know, it's closer to home. It's you know, reducing our carbon footprint and employing people right here at home. And I think people really are in the mode of buying local these days, and it really is an advantage for us too.
So here they go.
There they go. So you can feel how warm that is. The chips are still warm in that bag.
My gosh,
we just seasoned them, and now they're being, you know, made into the bags. And then from here, they'll go right into the case packing machine where they're boxed up. And then from there, right into our warehouse on the other side of this wall. From potato to finished potato chip in about an hour. From there, just a few days into the store. So we're more of a bakery than we are a real traditional potato chip factory.
We really are a Northwest grounded company. We've really taken on a whole new quest of, you know, bringing quality to a higher standard and bolder flavor. We say the fun never stops here at Tim's.
I believe it. To learn more about where potatoes are grown in Washington, check out our website at wildgrown.com. I'm excited. We've got a lot of very healthy food right here that we're going to do something with. What are we going to make?
We are making Italian potato vegetable soup.
Okay.
It's a really simple weeknight soup you can throw together for your family.
You've got 3 different kinds of potatoes here.
We do. Well, each potato is good for a different thing. And a red potato, which is it's a waxy potato. So they do really well when they're cooked in a broth. And this is the one we're going to use today because along with our soup, we're going to have them cook in some roasted tomatoes. So it'll be really nice. It's going to absorb that flavor and give us a nice base to our soup. And then we also have, this is our standard russet potato, which common baking potato. And then we have a Yukon Gold. It's a hybrid that's sort of a combination of both. Okay. So you can bake it, and it's a really fluffy golden flesh on the inside.
Does it stand up in soup?
It does.
It does, okay.
Yeah, it'll do a good job. Whereas if you cook a russet in soup, they tend to get it kind of grainy and not the best. So that's why we're using a red potato. Okay. So nice and waxy.
So what do we need to do first?
So we're gonna start, I'm gonna mince our garlic, which we have right here. We have 3 cloves of garlic, and then you can peel and dice some carrots.
I will do that, okay. Your family eats really healthy, don't they?
We do, we try.
Yeah. And your kids like kale.
My kids do like kale.
My kids might have some problems with kale, but it's worth a try, you know what I mean?
That's always been our goal with our kids, is that we just try to get them to try new things. And I've never really loved ketchup, but I try it every time that we have anything with ketchup, and my kids know I don't like it, and they see me trying it.
Yeah.
And then they say,
oh. Like, okay, if Mom can do it,
we'll try it.
So can we. You just want me to dice these up? Or
about a 1/4 inch rounds.
Okay. And this is a great soup. I mean, there's really nothing that people are allergic to in this soup.
Right, really great for a vegetarian. This is a vegetarian soup. Right. It's also a vegan soup. At the same time, if you want to add any Italian sausage or something to it, you could easily do that.
Yeah. What's your kids' favorite thing that you make them for dinner?
Favorite? My son's favorite is chicken curry.
Oh, nice.
He loves curry. That's what he always asks for on his birthday. He always wants chicken curry.
Aww.
And my daughters both love kale chips.
Yeah,
that's a favorite. They will both eat about an entire cookie tray if I would let them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
My kids like chicken and dumplings, like with very dense dumplings, you know. Throw this away here.
Now we're gonna start cooking.
Okay.
We're gonna come over to our pan, and on about medium heat, we're gonna get it ready for our carrots.
We pour some olive oil into our pan, then add in our carrots and saute until slightly tender. We add in chopped garlic and saute until fragrant. So after the carrots and the garlic, what are we gonna add?
Then we're gonna add some Great Northern beans.
Okay.
We have 2 cans of Great Northern beans here.
So 2 cans of Great Northern beans right here.
And then we have 3 cans of fire roasted diced tomatoes.
We add in the red potatoes, fire-roasted tomatoes, great northern beans, and water.
As soon as this starts to simmer, we're gonna turn our heat down and put the lid on it, and we're just gonna let it simmer on about medium-low. As soon as our potatoes are nice and fork tender and they've absorbed that broth, then we're ready for our next step where we add our kale.
Add the kale.
So what we wanna do is we wanna cut out the center stem.
A little too chewy.
A little too chewy. So you just wanna cut them out. And then cut it into about 1/4 inch little ribbon pieces.
Okay.
They don't need to be tiny because it just goes so fast once they get in the soup.
It does, like spinach, where it just kind of...
Yeah, we really just want to wilt it. It's boiling, we're ready.
Yay.
We're gonna put our lid on, turn our heat down to low, and let it simmer for 25 minutes.
25 minutes. After 25 minutes, we adjust our seasoning and stir. We mix in the kale and let sit for a few minutes before serving.
Look at that. There's some for you.
Thank you.
We'll get some for me. This is what it's all about.
Look how cheers. Let's eat. Oh, yum. Get everything. It's very hot.
It is very, very hot.
Yeah. Oh, I love the roasted tomatoes in this with the potatoes.
And the potatoes just, they get all of that flavor in them.
Oh, it's so good. To find Kristen's recipe for Italian potato vegetable soup, log on to our website at wagrown.com. With so many amazing ways to prepare the classic potato, it's no wonder it continues to be one of America's most popular foods, and certainly one of my favorites. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Washington Grown. Thanks for joining us.